Hey guys and gals, this is Bloggy with the Broken Legion of Gamers, and in this video we are going to do a Kickstarter spotlight for the Bloodfields Kickstarter campaign by Titanforge Games. And this is a special Kickstarter spotlight because this is actually the first game that's being kickstarted that's going to be completely print and play. And they're going about this in a very unique way. They're in the process of creating a mobile app for the game too, where you'll have the rule book, all the stack cards for all the miniatures, and basically when everything's all said and done, they want to be able to be able to like keep score for the missions and everything on it. They want it to be a fully interactive app that basically they fully interactive, and it's gonna be a really good gaming aid for it. And they're also going to be supporting this game further through their Patreon. Next month for their July release, they're doing Chaos Dwarfs, and that it's going to be their first Kickstarter release that's going to fully support Bloodfields. And with the Patreon, you're going to get the pre-supported files, which make it really easy, pretty much plug and play. With the Titanforge pre-supported files, I have not had a single print fail on me. The only prints I've had fail on me are the ones that I've used the Chidubox auto supports. But for the Titanforge supports, I haven't had a print fail on me yet. So they're making it really easy for even beginners with resin 3D printing to get into the game and print out these miniatures flawlessly. But let's go and show off the miniatures that they're creating. Some of these are part of the Kickstarter, and you can get the whole most of the vampire miniatures I'm going to show you are initially going to be part of the game. They're saying that all their miniatures are going to be brought into the game, so it's just going to be a matter of time for them to create stack cards. I'm going to start with one of my personal favorites, and this miniature right here is called the Silent One. Now you can see that he is missing his hands, and look at the details. Look at the details on this model. The shoulder pads are skulls. That mask is freaking phenomenal. And here's his hand with here's the sword that goes on him. It goes on like this. And you glue it on and it trails behind him. I gotta figure out how to do that when I put this guy together. And then here's his other hand. Now this didn't even... Now this little hand didn't even fail on me, and it printed perfectly. And with all of their stuff, it comes with these amazingly designed bases for 3D printed bases. Now where's the other vampire? Sorry, as always, nothing but and here is, she is called, I forget her name, but she's a vampire. She flies, and she's got awesome abilities. I forget her abilities, and she's carrying around that severed head. Like, these models are phenomenal. They print out phenomenal. And I had one more print. Oh, this guy, the vampire prints on the cavalry model. And this guy, another awesome print. And here's the base for him. It just looks beautiful. You've got I forgot to take one of the supports off before I cured. I'll clean that off later. This base is phenomenal. Now, all three of these, and there's a fourth one, this awesome zombie with the hatchet in his shoulder. Now, these were all printed on my resin printer. And I also printed out, because someone on the Kickstarter asked how these would print out on an FDM printer. First off, you're wasting a lot of filament because you got printed with supports. Most of the print is supports. And the quality is nothing compared to the SLA printer. It's possible. Like, here's the base I printed up for it on my Ender 3 Pro. Oh, let's see. Yeah, I printed it up in white so you can barely see anything. I wouldn't even print, now that I got a resin printer, I wouldn't even print the bases in SLA. I just did that just for the video, and that took 8 hours for me to print on an SLA printer. On the Ender 3 Pro. On the Elegoo Mars, that model right there, first off, the supports would be a lot easier to print up. Secondly, it would have only taken maybe an hour and a half. So, yeah. But here's my personal favorite of the vampires. It's still got to put some pieces on it. It's the Vampire Wagon. It's got two of these lamps. And the lamps go right on the back right there like that. And then there's a guy this is not going to be initially part of the game, but this guy's called the Doctor, and I'm going to have to clean off the supports on the bottom before I glue this on. He goes on right like that. Right like that. And then you have 4 of these chains that go into the holes on the bottom of that. And this beastly thing pulls the wagon. No. This is of the living miniatures, this is the biggest one I printed out so far. And this guy pulls the wagon. Yeah, I didn't do too good of a job cleaning up. That's it'll get by. But this guy came pre-hollowed out on supports with drain holes. The same thing with the main part of the wagon. And you could see the supports inside. These printed out phenomenally, and these drain plugs make sure that there's no uncured, no liquid resin that stays in here, that if you shake the model around, you'll hear sloshing around. Now I'm going to show you a couple of the models from this month's Patreon. It's for the Dragon Empire, and the Dragon Empire miniatures are a lot of but I'll just show you. It's a lot of Asian inspiration. Now you've got this guy on this. Hold on. I still can't find my trusty piece of cardboard. So you've got this guy right here. I forget the name of this guy. Now this guy was printed solid, no hollowing out, and the reason why you see these two little holes is because you also print out these 2 pieces of armor like this for the steed. And that goes on a big honkin' 50 mil base like this one. Oh, this one's going to be fun to try and figure out how to glue on. Yeah. But yeah, this goes on a 50 mil base like this. And yeah, this guy's nice and huge. But then you also have this fox guy. I think this is a mage. He's sly like a fox. And like, look at that cape. It's beautiful. And all I gotta do is like take an X-Acto knife and clean up some of the supports, and he printed out perfectly. And look at the detail on the inside of that cape. These guys, Titan Forge really outdoes themselves. And okay, no, that's not. And then you got this right here. This is, I think these are samurais or ninjas. Yeah. This guy's sneaking around the battlefield and everything. And then you got these these gunners right here. Now, they even, I don't know if it's going to focus in on that, but they hollowed out the barrel, and these are like flintlock guns. So this is what you can expect from the Dragon Empires. On the Kickstarter, there's 2 pledge levels. There's the $29 starter set, which is four factions that you get models for. You get orcs, knights, elves, and werewolves. You get a full terrain set. You get all the gaming aids you need, and you'll get the rules and everything for the game. They even made for printout measuring tools like this. This is an 8-inch measuring tool. You start right here, move all the way down to here, 8 inches. And you can also use this for range and everything. And here's an example of the terrain that they come up with. This was from the Vampire Patreon. I gotta file down these posts right here. These posts will hold the roof is the roof is removable, and they even did the full detail of the interior, the floor, whole 9 yards. Here's the back of it. You've got this beautiful stained. You can paint this up like stained glass. Here's the front doors. This is a crypt and you even got a little bit of detail up top. Like, they call this the crypt, and this was from last month's Patreon, the terrain for the vampires. So this is basically, if you back the Bloodfields Kickstarter, this is the kind of stuff. Oh, and here's my favorite one of the vampire line that I can't wait to get introduced. This is the Flesh Reaper. It's a big, like, huge construct, and he's throwing this like, I don't know, this could be part of like the retaining fence of a cemetery. Look at that ugly face. Yeah, I can't wait till they add rules for these guys. And this guy goes on a big 40 millimeter base like this. Yeah. This guy's huge too. But their all-in pledge for the campaign. Sorry, I'm so distracted. It is so late. The all-in pledge for the campaign is just $79, and it gets you all 10 factions for the game, a whole bunch of terrain, and they keep adding more and more units to the to the game. In about by tomorrow, we're probably gonna, once we hit 170,000, we're gonna unlock war machines, and they're basically going to be siege weapons that can be taken by any faction. There's been a lot of thought into this Kickstarter. This is by far a phenomenal Kickstarter with a lot of value. If you have a 3D printer, it's a full print and play game for you. It's a no-brainer if you have a resin printer. And these resin printers, as you can see, I'm brand new to resin printing, and this is how beautiful the resin prints come out. But that's it for this video, guys. Head on over to Kickstarter. Check out the Bloodfields Kickstarter. And I definitely say back it. It's definitely worth the money. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up. If you're new to the channel and you want to see more hobby-related content, hit that subscribe button and then hit the bell icon to be notified anytime I put up any future content. And as always, whenever possible, support local wargaming here at the channel. We support Toy Wiz in Nanuet, New York, on Route 59, right across the street from the Dunkin' Donuts. Have a nice day. Oh, and by the way, this Kickstarter only has 2 days left to it. It's over at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Tuesday morning. But go over and check it out, guys.